What is up, everybody? This is Jesse, aka Darkness Kirby 2, and I'm here today with my friend Mr. 2 Butery, part of the B.O.N.E crew and the newest voice actor for Jones. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
That's good. That's good to hear. So we thought we would do something a bit fun, and we're going to be reacting to a certain very special video today. Now, some people don't know this. I think there's a lot of people who watch the B.O.N.E series who have no clue that this video ever existed. But before episode 1, before the power supply trailer, there was the first ever original trailer of B.O.N.E. This was my first ever Halo Reach Machinima, and this is still up. Not a lot of people have seen this, and I think that's a good thing, because at the time we were so happy with it when it first came out, but it's not good. It's really bad. I remember.
Hey, it's a classic.
It's a classic at this point. But I remember we were so happy with it, me and KG, and then a certain other Machinima came out shortly after that just completely blew it out of the water, and we had to completely reevaluate. KG started messaging me. He's like, "Oh my god, check this out! What have we done?" And then I vowed to make sure episode 1 was like 1,000 times better. Have you seen the trailer before?
I have, but it's been some time.
Yeah, I know. This came out forever ago. But for the viewers watching at home, for the fans, we're going to watch through the whole thing, and we'll be reacting to it. And then after that, we'll have a fun time. I think we can react to episode 1 as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to B.O.N.E episode teleporter.
That's right.
Let's do it.
That's right. We're gonna watch the classics. This is B.O.N.E ancient history. This is the ancient history lesson. All right, so
they're products of their time.
They are. They definitely are. This was before certain, like, all the really epic Machinimas came out. You probably know which ones I'm talking about. This was
Yes.
back in the
Yes,
golden
sir.
age. Well, before the golden age, I think. Right before it started, maybe. All right, let's get started.
Up.
Yep. Very intellectual quote.
Words to live by.
And we got KG as the Admiral.
This war has taken many.
Does he have a black
Yeah.
secondary or a steel secondary?
I think it's a steel. Guy shifting around, you know.
Oh my
everyone's
goodness.
antsy in the background there. Man, the black bars really bring you back.
The freaking
have limited Spartan super soldiers.
the dazzle.
Yeah, I think this was HD PVR, but I didn't have it set up properly. And here comes the star of the show with his future armor, shoulders on. And you might
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
There's a hole in the wall.
strafe around, can't get shot.
I need you three to get B.O.N.E out of here.
Still had Ziggy.
Who the fuck are these guys?
I know. Pay attention to Andrew's armor, the gold guy, by the way. That'll change later. Yep.
I don't even know what that guy just.
You might
said.
recognize some of this from the actual episode 1. But yeah, these guys have their armor's completely different.
Steer out the land. Found LZ 2 clicks north.
This is a
Get
completely different era. Oh. Jump into a wall.
Oh my gosh.
B.O.N.E firing a weapon.
Jones's voice.
Yeah, different. That was my friend from way back. Oh. Nobody ever really commented on that at the time. That just kind of happens there with no explanation. And that was an early version of
Okay,
B.O.N.E
that's a nice shot.
that we saw there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that the same voice actor? Was that Chariot?
Nope, that was not Chariot. That was KG. Look, Andrew's armor on the left has completely changed.
And so has
Jones.
his voice.
And his voice. That was me, and that was me doing that one.
Yeah.
And now, all of these clips that you're seeing now, they actually live on because they all made it into the series. All of these clips that you're seeing happen now actually happened in the real series. You might recognize some of these.
Oh my goodness.
We'll go through it again after, and I'll point out every single one. That's a spoiler.
I'm sorry. Seeing that episode 4 detail was just.
And Brandon was
That was
kicking
too much
around
for me.
too. He was still an antagonist around here. And oh, jump out the window.
Oh,
We were thinking, oh, this will be such a cool ending to the trailer.
Thomas's armor is different.
Yeah, his armor
He
changed a
had
couple of
bone
times in the
shoulders.
trailer too, actually. Originally, he had the proper one at the start, and then somehow he gained shoulders at some point. Those were not... I think that was just an oversight. I don't remember, but what did you think of that old classic?
It definitely was a classic.
It was definitely a product of its time.
It was a video. It was a trailer.
It was
the
a trailer.
most trailer of all time.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just to give a little more context, at the time when we were making this, we didn't really have any proper idea as to what the story was going to be. We had an idea for episode 1, which you saw followed the general episode 1 path at the start of the trailer. But then after that, we had really no clue. In fact, we were going to originally just have every episode be its own random, like, disconnected mission. Just them kind of, like, doing interesting things. And after episode 1, that's when we decided that we really wanted to give it a proper story, and we had some things start connecting. And then after episode, I think during episode 4, we sort of mapped out most of what was going to happen after that. And then when I came back to reviving the series recently is when I actually took those half-finished ideas and really like made them proper and fleshed them out in extreme detail.
Looking back on this, how do you feel about this product?
About this, I think it's I think for the first thing that I made on Reach, it's okay, but it does not hold a candle to anything that came after. You know, it's a classic.
agree.
It's
I
it's a
agree.
part of the channel's history, so of course it sticks around. But you know, I'm just very happy that this is not usually the first thing people see when they find the series.
Is this the first video on the channel?
This is the first video. Now, I used to, my channel's been around for a long time, so it's not the first video I ever made. I used to have, like, other gameplay commentaries and Let's Plays, and some machinimas from other games, but I deleted them all because they were very, like, not good. And then we basically started over with B.O.N.E when we started this. But this
Gotcha.
channel's been around since 2008. It's been a very long time. Okay, so what we're going to do next, let's go back through, and we're going to be pausing as we go, so I can show you the details. Now, again, I have no clue who's
Well,
speaking. I don't know who's saying this line, but it's there. And at the time here, too, the Admiral was just, you know, a generic good guy, also.
The Covenant is growing stronger, perhaps strong enough that we are
Yep.
in danger of becoming
We'll
It's zooming out so far
I
away.
know. And his, you know, actually his foot is kind of floating there. I don't know if you noticed that.
It is.
So the UNSC
The Admiral can float
Yeah.
and bump into the.
Now, this whole sequence is very iconic, so of course in the episode remake, we'll see this again. That dude jumps really high.
I need you three to get B.O.N.E out of here.
Yep. So
B.O.N.E
here, let's
has
pause here for a
full
second.
assault.
I'm gonna actually let you in on a little secret. Thomas's armor is the proper one that it's sticks with afterwards. Now, you'll notice that Jones has that helmet on, and you'll see that Andrew has that helmet on. Those are actually carried over to Gamma Squad. So Tyler has that Jones helmet, and then Anthony has that CQC helmet. So that's where the Gamma Squad armor actually came from. It was inspired from the trailer.
I did not notice that.
Yep, that's also one annoying thing about this version of Andrew's armor is the guy who is body acting specifically put on that headband, and that is like a very pre-order only limited edition armor piece that basically nobody had. So like
That's right. That's yeah.
So he tried to really, make it difficult to body act that character. I think it's been such a long time, but I'm pretty sure that's why after he was not in the session anymore, we changed the armor to something else, like midway through. And of course, we didn't want to refilm everything, so we just stuck with it.
That's something that I've always admired about right?
So I think you cut out.
Something I've
What'd you
always
say?
admired. I was saying something I always admired about the Bone series is that the armor for the characters, it looks nice. It looks well put together and not like not like wearing like security
Yeah.
freaking harder shoulder it looks nice
Yeah.
and it's like relatively like it's got like a low level entry.
Yeah.
Like or barrier to entry in terms of like actually unlocking it
Yeah.
in the game.
Honestly, when we were originally, I wouldn't say originally here, but like by episode 1, we were trying to make sure everything stayed kind of consistent and standardized and easy to kind of body act for. So that's why everyone was default with like the specific helmets, really. Or at least all of the Spartan characters. And even when they got their armor upgrades, I tried to keep everything fairly symmetrical. So Jones has the Grenadier helmet, so he had the Grenadier shoulders, for example. The shoulders would usually match the characters, except in a couple specific circumstances. So everything kind of stayed symmetrical and clean looking.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can move on to a bit more. This would have been them escaping the base.
During episode 1?
Yeah, in episode 1 when Andrew shoots the slow-mo grenade. That's not much of a battle. We'll see it in a little bit when we watch. But
I remember. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
We'll be seeing all of this again in the episode
LZ2
remake.
clicks north. Get there.
Yeah, we'll go through. This is all still episode 1.
Bone was straight up firing a gun
I know.
there.
He doesn't learn how to do that until episode 3. Oh, let me go back and let's just check that. That right there is the Lord Marshal of the Covenant Empire, Gonburami. Looking a little strange. He didn't have a name at the time. He was just, elite leader. So we'll continue.
I love that they're just picking up weapons off of the ground.
Yeah, I know. It's just, they're everywhere. Just grab them and run. This is episode 2, actually. That jump when he's running across the bridge. That's in episode 2. I recreated that shot. And he has an assassination, that same assassination model. I was referencing it in episode 2 from this shot. Not in the same area, but like close to it.
Yeah.
And then the elevator scene. So this was actually completely different in episode 2. Because originally we wanted to have it like they were just meeting each other now during the Bone mission. So this is like the first time they were all kind of meeting each other and getting to know each other, and they're working together. But obviously we changed that so that they would be a squad for a few years at that point, and they would all know each other and they could banter with each other properly. It felt better that they all like kind of knew each other and they could trust each other. At least, Jones and Andrew would be bantering and bickering, but at least it was like kind of a proper squad that knew each other and could work together. Otherwise, if they're working together for the first time, we figured it might not really make too much sense.
Right. And I feel like something else in like episode 1 that isn't really highlighted but is still there is like Thomas and Andrew, they're like fine with Bone.
Yep.
But then Jones, he's like apprehensive towards him. Like he's like, no, he's not. It's been the 3 of us. It's not the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Like he's like apprehensive towards him until like Bone does his thing.
Yeah, and then he thinks, that's pretty cool actually. Yeah, so that's where that came from. But this entire sequence and all of the dialogue, it's actually referenced again when we show a flashback of how they actually like met each other. Well, not really met each other because the way that Delta UNSC was set up was that, and as you know from the Spartan D283 trailer, that Jones was a human that got turned into a Spartan, like later on. And then Thomas and Andrew were already part of Delta UNSC, having their special training and everything there. So when Delta Squad was created at the end of training, when everyone graduated, that's when Thomas and Andrew first met Jones for the first time, and then they had the same dialogue. You know, I'm Thomas, name's Jones, I'm Andrew. So that whole dialogue carried over.
Dude, I love that shot in Jones's short where the doors open up and then it's either I think it's Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas and Andrew are
turns,
standing there,
and
the
Andrew
side.
starts looking. Like that was shot so well.
Thank you.
Like,
Thank you very much.
And it went well with the music.
Yeah, that I mostly like that that trailer. It's just I think some of the shots in the masking could have taken a bit more work. There's one shot where like a Covenant ship appears, and that was very like jarring.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I liked it pretty. It was pretty good. I think that one. I think it came out good. All right, let's continue on.
Get your names last time. I'm Thomas.
Ziggy was still around way back then, but yeah.
Andrew. Now that that's out of the way.
This is episode 5 when the base is exploding and Thomas is escaping. I'm gonna go through every single clip and I'll explain where it's all from. Episode 1.
It caught me off guard for a second.
Yep. This is episode 4. Andrew saves Jones from the elite that's a little confused. And then this is episode 2. Thomas uses the same line. Here's episode 3. Episode 4. 5. This is 4 again, the sniper duel. 5 at the end. 3.
Oh yeah.
This is also 3, and then 6 when they're in space. This is a big spoiler. This person is not what you think. It's just taking a nap. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
But I actually did recreate. I'm pretty sure we recreated this kind of shot. Not exactly, because like the camera work here wasn't that great, but at least her lying down and then this shot with Jones looking down, I kind of recreated at the time.
Looking down, feeling down.
Yep.
What?
I don't know why. Why is he feeling down from this? She's just taking a nap.
I don't know.
You should cheer up. You should definitely not think about her for a few more episodes. This is actually, you haven't seen this one, but this is episode 7.
Oh.
And actually, in the mission briefing, I recreated the shot also to like reference that it's going to be coming. That I included it
Really?
on purpose. Here, yeah. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. It might break the way that I'm recording this, but yeah, this was in the mission briefing. This I don't know. I think the original idea for this one was that B.O.N.E had created the city, but that doesn't really fit in anywhere. So this is a scrapped idea.
This is. Mm-hmm. I recognize the map.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
That's from days past.
Yeah, this is yeah, this was floating around at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we would kind of just find some maps and use them. This is episode 8
Oh my
with
goodness.
Brandon. Same armor, has the same shoulders, helmet, colors. Anti UNSC was still kind of an idea we were going to include even back here as another faction. This is episode 6 when they throw the sticky in the armor box.
Yeah.
And this is episode 6 as well. We actually included this in the episode of him jumping out the window. Originally just wanted to be cool, and I remember when we're working on 6, I was thinking, alright, we have to work this in somehow, so it makes sense. And it did. It worked. He jumped out, he landed on the saber.
During the prisoner short, I love the fact that they that we finally, after like a decade, get to see Thomas on top of the frickin'
Yep.
on top of the what's it called? The saber.
The saber.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Yep. I remember at the time, because that whole scene where they were circling around the Corvette was somewhat inspired by the Gulag from Modern Warfare 2, where you're circling around on the choppers. So that's why I wanted to include Thomas kind of like sniping some people on the Corvette. Originally, when we were going to use normal non-royalty free music for that, that would have been the soundtrack we would have used. We would have had that Gulag opening theme. But since we were trying to use royalty free music for episode 6 part 2, that's where that came from. And we switched it out for something that I don't think worked as well. I think the music made episode 6 part 2 suffer a bit.
Don't worry. Episode 7.
That's right.
Or episode 1 remake. I don't know.
That's right. All right. Now I'm going to cut to when we have episode 1 set up. Okay. All right, and we are back. So now, to close off this little fun time that we're having, we're going to watch through and have a blast with episode 1. You ready to start?
I'm as ready as can be.
Good, let's do this. The quote returns. Referencing that quote, but no voiceover.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Imagine waking up here in this purple room.
Thomas. Where am I?
Don't worry. As long as you
KG's
cooperate
epic
with
voice
what
acting.
we say. We know
And you actually see what Nova
Yo,
looks
it's
like for a
ASMR.
second there. He came out of camo for some reason. I didn't notice.
I was.
I never noticed that.
Yep.
Why is that important to you?
Good voice acting from Ziggy.
Zoom
though.
in.
about the creation.
Screw you.
Just tell us. I can guarantee
But
I like the shot.
yeah, some of these shots are good, but we reuse a lot of them because there's only so many you can do in like that purple room. But we have Thomas walking
I
up
love
now
the
as
freaking funky. Yeah.
first person walking up. Just in time.
I thought he and Admiral O'Donnell were gonna have like a dance off or something. But then the music turns into this epic thing.
Yep. The epic opening credits scene. This is actually
No, this is
I actually
so well
like
done.
this. I actually like how this came out. I think this was a bit ahead of its time. And you had the monitors floating around in that first shot to look like they're shooting the welders at him. And we'll see another one go
I think
by.
you have like a right.
A what?
It's a shot that's coming up. I think.
There it
I
is.
think
Yeah.
where it's like the camera is like circling Bone. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Now,
I like that shot.
a little mistake here though is we actually had his shoulders on when he wasn't supposed to have them yet.
Russian is capable of
So don't
Ah,
ignore that.
no.
Ignore that. This is a classic. Ignore that. But this was pretty cool. Now the remake is completely different in terms of how we do that opening, but it'll I think that one will be
1
good
month
too.
later. I was running late.
Just a quick
Casually running late
pause.
to a military.
You might remember that there was an episode 1 deleted scene video. That was an idea that we had that was going to play like before he gets dropped off here, but we didn't really like flesh it out before we put it out. So that's where that came from. That actually gets worked back into the remake, but completely overhauled. That's the scene I had to rewrite like 50 times to make sure we got that
where
right.
Thomas gets his. He gets his weapon
His
there.
special DMR that he carries throughout the whole show. If you notice, he's never lost it.
We were gonna
I actually
start with
really
action,
love this part.
but the admiral insisted we wait. You better
Oh yeah, this is very well done.
Crow's
Like
nest.
with the people moving around.
Yeah, and
like-
then when we get inside, that's my favorite. Almost there.
Yeah, body acting something like this in like 2011.
Yep.
That must have been hell.
And the first real like first person shot that people could like recognize here. So let me pause for a second. So I was actually inspired by this old Halo 3 machinima. I think it's been deleted completely off the internet at this point. I don't even remember the name of it. But I remember there was a scene where it was these two ODSTs and one of them's in first person walking through Orbital. To, like he's following the ODST, and that's where the inspiration came from.
Mhm.
So I wanted to do that, and I don't think at this time nobody really did any like first person shots in their machinimas. And I remember after this, like other people kind of started like incorporating some.
You're a trendsetter.
I think this actually did set the kind of first person trend for a while, because I didn't really see anybody doing it before that. And then looking through the rooms, there's a heart.
Heart.
That was actually intentional, that one. That was an Easter egg. And then you can get a glimpse of
Was
the
that a
Great Wall.
teleporter?
That's the teleporter, but that's on purpose. That was supposed to be like they were developing a
okay.
teleporter there. Jones actually has a different helmet here. He has an attachment on
got
it that
hit.
goes away after, and you never see it again. But
Admiral O'Donnell is pointing a gun at me.
Fellow members of Delta,
oh, you know what?
audience.
I actually tried to make that a bit canon at 1.2, whereas like he keeps it up because he's very paranoid. In the Kenny short, there's a clip where he picks up the gun, he fires at a Kenny, and then he actually like keeps it up as he's walking out while everyone else has their weapons down to kind of like show that point that he's like really paranoid with it.
Ah, man.
I think that was just more of a cope because we kept his weapon up most of the time, but he puts it down a few times in episode 2.
It is what it is.
Yep. I think we've changed it from him keeping it up to actually just, he keeps it with him all the time. Since he's not really
He
pointing
does
it at everybody like after that.
I think he also does it in the Jonathan.
I think he does
flashback
actually, yeah.
in,
I remember that now.
yeah.
But yeah, but he carries that pistol with him all the time after the Kenny incident.
Goodness.
See, we've
Much
received
better
a
voice
transmission
acting.
That Alpha Spartan team are MIA. Via Covenant forces, that is the
He's talking
first
about
Spartan
Alpha
team
Squad
this
here,
month.
who we see in episode 6.
We can't afford
Everyone's
to lose
confused.
anymore.
Hey, I thought they were MIA.
Covenant is growing stronger. They're learning our every move, and
This is a classic speech.
I still think
Definitely.
we are one
Oh,
step
yeah.
ahead. There is a solution for the last 13 years.
I'm sorry.
That's a good line.
NSC scientists have been altering the very
Yes, it
fabrics
is.
of
It's
artificial
iconic.
intelligence.
And they're starting to push up. They're getting into the base. What are we gonna do?
Today, we are presented with
got in there
something
fast.
out of
Yep.
My
the
goodness.
realms of anything we have ever seen before. People, I give you billions.
Epic reveal.
Operational, nationwide.
Here he is.
Equipment. Boom. The first ever.
That's a good shot, I
Spartan
think,
Artificial
With the
intelligence.
Spartans behind him.
It contains enough power.
Oh yeah.
And this was specifically done in a way to be less like silly than the trailer when everyone's strafing.
Check the
You'll see everyone. I
Yeah.
specifically told everyone like don't move when you get down there. Except that one guy did it anyways, but you don't see him. Much cleaner, much cleaner.
The elite look.
And now Jones has his proper helmet again.
Not often you see Jones and Andrew, or Jones with an assault rifle.
Yeah, he usually has
Sir,
a
are
shotgun
you
or
alright?
sniper. This is my. I love this part, by the way. Andrew's just asking a very peaceful question. Sir, are you alright?
Don't worry about
And he
me.
just shouts in his
Your
face.
phone is our most valuable asset.
He's
Get
shouting
him
at
out of
him.
here. There's a chopper waiting for you.
Now, the reason for this actually is because from the trailer, they were in the other room where the gunfire was still going off, so that's why he was meant to be shouting here. But we moved them into this quiet room and kept the line.
We're all falling back to command. Protect B.O.N.E at all costs.
And this you'll remember from
It's
the
okay.
trailer.
Consider it done.
It makes
You're
the
the
scene
best
more
we have,
iconic.
Trooper.
You got the wall of
I know you
weapons,
can do
and
it.
Admiral O'Donnell yelling
Yep.
for no
And
reason.
the door closes, there's that sound effect
Calm
like it's
down.
closing down
We got
behind
an
them.
entire army between us and that chopper. Now let's gear up.
Alright. Time to gear up with the Great Wall of Weapons, which makes a return in the remake.
Dude, I love that you put the sounds when the screen turned black. Like, that's cool.
Yeah. And now we'll have
Jones
them...
is like, are we really doing this?
Yeah, he's ready. And now we have the first, well, not the first, but I guess the second fight scene, but first one that's just Delta Squad. Although this one I think could have been a lot better. It's just like two elites that they fight.
Slow motion.
Oh my god, what was I thinking with this shot? I don't know what I... Jones shoots the wall, by the way.
Stupid machine.
They killed two elites, but there's supposed to be an army between them and
Lay
the
off
outside.
it. They don't know how to use them yet.
Yeah, well, this ain't the time to open an instruction manual. Come on, let's move.
This one looks a little bit weird because the Falcons in the background were a little slow, but I wanted to catch them in the shot. So that's why he's like looking a little off in the distance.
I'll handle them.
Jump! You can make it!
Random explosion.
So my question is, yeah, I was like, what caused the explosion?
We just-
like, I loved watching it like the first few times, but like,
Yeah.
then something clicked in my head. I was like, what fucking caused the explosion?
So it's supposed to
It's
be
the
that
rule
the
of
elites
cool.
blew up
It
the
doesn't
base
have
at the last minute, but yeah, it does definitely look very random. It just comes out of nowhere, and we thought, oh, this will be so cool. We'll just jump off and it'll blow up. But really, that was pretty badass though. Let's watch it again.
Jump! You can make it!
Oh yeah, it was shot well.
Boom.
There it is.
Nice jump. I've seen better though.
Sure you have.
Do we return to first person?
We will in a
do
second.
soon enough.
These elites are just
There
you know,
it is.
You have been notified that your aircraft has been
This
shot down.
do you see the dude on like with the jetpack? There's a dude floating in the sky.
Oh my god! It.
Why is this here? Why did this make it in? I don't remember. I don't think I saw it at the time.
What in the
This-
world?
it was such a weird
Like,
camera angle. I don't know how this got in.
I have never noticed that. What
Learning
the-
something new every
what the
day.
heck? Seriously.
And then we're going down.
There it is.
But there's, nobody saying anything, no nothing. We actually bring back some of the dialogue from the trailer there, because in this version, nobody really talks about going down. Like in the remake.
I've always thought that shot was
Affirmative. We were told there was an LZ.
That shot.
very interesting. It was almost like a satellite.
Do you
was
know why?
finding them.
Because the original
not
intention was that it was a satellite, but I thought it looked a little silly when I couldn't really edit a satellite properly back, in episode 1 era. So I took it off and I just made it a camera angle, but it was supposed to be a satellite.
North of our current position.
This was much better than the trailer, that shot. We did that so much better.
Oh yeah.
The Falcons were at a good height and good speed.
You two, shut up and watch the robot. Maybe take some notes while you're at it.
No scope.
Double kill.
The Falcon actually disappeared there too. I know every single
It's
every single
canonical.
camera angle. I know every detail. This was cool though. This dude pulls out his sword and runs towards them.
He pulled out his sword.
Yeah.
I wonder if these still work.
All right, we're getting in the warthogs. The only reason these warthogs were included were because
So
they
is
were in the
this one.
trailer. That's why they drive for 2 seconds and
Let's
they
meet
get
up with
out.
the Admiral.
Literally a 2-second
No, I
drive.
love the warthogs.
And then they just jump out. Now, the canon reason is that when they hit the warthogs, it stalled them. But yeah, they just kind of jump out.
And Elite just threw a frag grenade.
Yep. Jones did too.
Can't that piece of crap do anything?
And Bone just, if Bone was a second later, he'd be
This was when I
dead.
witnessed it for the first time.
What did it do?
But this was handled much better. This was
Yes,
a much better
he
shot.
absolutely would.
And they all groan together.
My gosh. All right, that's a cool shot to fade in from black. too.
Yeah.
Never mind the gigantic wall. You can
You'd
speak.
think they'd want to know what that wall is all about, though.
Remember all the stuff that Jones said? I think he just took it back.
Thomas really doesn't care at all
keep
about the
going.
wall.
All right,
Hey, I think this
here we
guy
go.
needs
It's the
some
push
help.
to the LZ.
Isn't there an LZ we're supposed to get to?
Their lives are more important.
Teleporter in the back. This was a bit of a weird fight scene.
Oh shit.
I think we just didn't have
I
enough
think
people.
they've just been killed.
Well, no shit, Sherlock.
No shit, Sherlock. Good. Excellent classic dialogue.
Bone doesn't know how to fire a gun, but he can do all this.
Yeah, he can beat the
Fuck,
shit
I
out of
love
them.
it.
Yep.
I like the music here as well.
Yeah, this is good. And the tank too, we
guess
thought
we'll just
this would
borrow
be
this.
a cool thing to include. Now they're gonna push up.
I love the fact that Thomas said we'll borrow this.
Yep.
Like he intends to return it to its rightful owner.
Well, hey, you know, they jump out
After, like, a
later
day
on,
or
someone else
so.
can reuse it.
I love my job.
Oh, I have to talk
That's
about
true.
that line. So, way back in the day, there was this guy who did a review of episode 1. I think his name was like Snapple My Apple or something, but I remember specifically he did a review, and it was fair at the time. It was a fair review, I'd say, given like what had come out after and the standards had gone up and all that. But I specifically remember they were commenting on that line, and they're like, "That is the sound of somebody who does not love his job." The way he said it. I love my job.
No, I read it as like he's like, I love my job.
I know.
Like, oh my gosh.
I know that was the intention there, but the voice acting definitely made it sound like it was. I love my job. Let's keep it going.
Oh my gosh.
Tank beats everything. Teleporter.
Oh my gosh, Halo 3.
It's a pretty cool fight scene though. I think we can
Oh,
do
yeah.
better. We're gonna do better next time around. This is from the trailer. You saw this.
Oh yeah. They set up so much stuff at this base.
Yep.
Like within, oh my goodness.
Who are these? Why are there
These
3
guys.
Gons? That's what everyone wants to know. The answer is because we didn't really. They were meant to just be like elite generals, because we kept the gold like general armor. We didn't really allocate that specifically to Gon yet. So these were just supposed to be generic generals, but they they just look like now the main Covenant leader.
He killed his 2 twin. He's triplet. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep, they're quadruplets.
That's why he hates Delta so much. There we go.
That gets it.
Except all of them died.
They all died. They're all dead.
I thought one of them got away.
You have to use some imagination there. That they're not the gold general. They're the red generals. Who in the Bone canon, red generals are like generals. So you have to use some imagination there. After we actually like made that standardized.
Nice.
Incredible. All right, and that's it. They've made it to the LZ.
Admiral, you there? This is Delta Squad
Thomas is yelling as
6290.
Yep.
Well,
Hold on, Spartan.
You son of a
was that
gun.
you?
You made it.
That was me. I used the voice deepening on that. There's such a funny comment when about that line. You son of a gun, you made it. This guy left a comment saying, "I hate that line. The way that he read that line, it reminds me of the guy from Grown Ups who was wearing Speedos." I don't know why, but that just makes me laugh.
All right,
Was
I'm
that
sending for a Falcon to get you out of
Posted
physical.
with the original episode?
Yeah, that's on episode 1. That's a comment that exists.
Oh my god.
I think I posted in the
That
server at
stayed
one
with
point.
you for
I
for
screen
like
capped it
10
and I
years.
posted it.
Oh my god. Gosh.
Yep.
Grand Command. Download these coordinates.
Yeah, they made it.
Got them, sir.
So,
They won't be long.
Delta always ships fast.
come on, let's
Delta
get
is like
moving.
a mail
We'd be
service.
dead if it wasn't for Butery.
It's just my duty.
This was good the way we did this though, where
Thank
you
you.
couldn't get into the Falcon, so we just cut, so like they're in there already.
Yeah.
And it's a very heroic victory. and they're flying off into the mountains there, since Sword Base is in like the cold mountain area. Now, do you know who this is?
Okay. Yep. Oh yeah,
He's in
yeah.
episode
the
3.
Freaking the dude. Yes.
Yep.
That. If you took everything I just said, like, it implies he has no idea who this guy is, but no, I didn't. I'm tiptoeing.
Yep, this is the red Spec Ops Elite that's part of Gon's leadership from episode 3. His name is Zeke. You'll learn more about him in episode 7.
What they call Visegrad Command.
Should be interesting. But that's KG's voice acting.
There he is.
That is also
There's
KG.
Gon. What?
He voiced all the elites.
Ah!
And that's it. We made it. We made it to the end of the
What
episode.
the? Can you go back to the title, the episode title,
Yeah.
where it said episode 1?
I know. Now, the reason for this is the way that this font works. If you use a capital letter, it goes black. If you use lowercase, it goes white. And then from episode 2 onwards, we figured out that this does not look good, and we fixed it.
Oh my gosh.
We actually had another person record the credits scene, and then I got this from somebody else, so that's why Thomas's colors are off.
Huh.
I think it's because the way that I would record at the time was that I had to move my setup to like the HD flat screen TV that we had in the living room. So I didn't want to move everything again to get the credits shots. Still worked out though. Now you mentioned you have a theory about these credit scenes of Thomas walking around, and I'll be interested to hear that down the road when there's more to work with.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they'll turn out to be true. But when the remake comes out, this whole episode is gonna not be canon anymore, basically. So enjoy it while you can. It's gonna stay up, of course, but it won't be the canon start to the series anymore when the remake's out.
It'll be like the abridged version that, like, I don't know, Jones tells his kids.
And that's it. Alright, that was a lot of fun, and I hope everybody enjoyed, everyone watching at home. What'd you think of the episode, Butery?
I still thoroughly enjoy this episode.
Good, I would hope so.
However, in comparison to what I know of the remake, I can't wear rose-tinted glasses anymore.
Yeah, you know how the remake's gonna be. So, but this will always be a classic in everybody's hearts. If you actually notice here on this little, I think it might be different for you actually, but if you'll notice, episode 1 still has the original thumbnail, and then episode 2 has the new batch of thumbnails, because episode 1's getting that remake, so the remake will have the new, the matching thumbnail style to the new ones. So that's why I just left episode 1 with the original.
It hurts to see episode 1 standing alone.
Yep.
But it is what it is. It's for the greater good.
It'll make sense when this remake is out, which hopefully it'll be as soon as possible. I really, really want to get this out. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys had a good time too, along with us. I definitely had a good time. And we'll see you all in the next video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, and maybe we'll react to more stuff in the future. So definitely leave a comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you all next time. Thank you, and have a good day. Take care.